What up, man? Chris, somebody checking back in, man. Here with the man of the hour.
Sir.
Where we? Tell him where we at, Mike.
We're in Florida. We're in lovely, stormy, warm Florida.
This is where it all goes down. This is a little setup and everything over here. Cool. We got the little, you know what I'm saying? I guess a fan made that. I can't help but notice your Pat Stay hoodie, man. Let's show the people real quick.
Yes, 100. Pat Stay. This is what they gifted all the battlers when we went for the Stay Forever event. So yeah, man, this is a very
Do
classic
you have
piece.
a Pat Stay story, or did you know him that well, or what were you doing when you heard the news? Like, just a quick thought on that, real quick, before we get.
You know, I didn't know him that well. I would say we really started speaking probably 4 years ago, and it was like a weird relationship, right? It's like when you're a fan of a ball player and you're playing ball, and then you get to a point where you're pro, and then you wind up talking to someone that you followed for so long. Like, it was weird to be such a fan of him and then actually kind of become a friend. I mean, there's a lot of memories I have of Pat, all hilarious and good, man. You know, obviously when it came out, what happened, it killed me. It still kills me to this day, because it's just a weird thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I wasn't one of his good friends. I didn't know him since he was a kid, but it's like, you know, it's like how people get upset when a celebrity dies that they follow. It's like, I followed him for such a long time as a teenager, and then I actually got to know him as a man before he passed. So, yeah, man, it hurt. It hurt like hell, but all good memories from him, man. And what's crazy is, like, when he passed, you didn't realize how many people had so many good things to say, and how many people that he spoke to on the regular and would drop, you know, gems to them and voice notes. And, you know, he always seemed to worry a lot about people compared to the usual human being, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, especially in this battle rap culture, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was surprised how many people came out with so many good, like, behind the scenes stories. You know what I'm saying? Not just appreciating him as an artist. Like, so many people that were like he really helped me and really cared. Like, he really did. Okay,
cool. So last time, I guess me and you we talked a lot about your video that you did about the URL situation.
Right.
Today is July 31st.
Yeah.
So, have you spoken to URL since the video? Okay. So you get the call from Easy.
Yeah.
Well, what's your first thought when you get the call?
I'm ready. I mean, I want to do it. Yeah, 100%. I've spoke to Easy before, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he called me randomly. You know, I've had multiple conversations with him over the course of the last few years. So, you know, when he called me to do a card, like, there wasn't really that much thought put into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Trenches in general, that first card was one of the best cards of the year. And, you know, it's also done by your peers. You know what I'm saying? Like, a league ran by a battler. It's interesting off rip. And, yeah, man, there wasn't any notion in the back of my head, like, as to whether I should do it or not. You know, and I guess that was kind of the point.
Were there any other possibilities other than Raw, or was that just the only one thrown at you at the time?
That was the one that was thrown at me at the time. Yeah, and I wanted it. Yeah. I mean, when he said Rosenberg, I was like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll do that battle.
Now, me and you talk behind the scenes. I kind of want you to explain to the fans what your thought process is, because we talked a lot about, like, what does a Rosenberg Raw YouTube battle release on Trenches on Chrome 23 YouTube channel? What does that do to Mike P at this stage of your career?
It's funny because a lot of people will say that it's like it's starting something, but for me, I feel like it's just a continuation of a very extensive resume that I've had for probably 11 years on camera. You know, Rosenberg, I'm not gonna disrespect him, but all the elements outside of him for this performance are so much more important. So for me, it's like, it's the YouTube drop, and it's just the statement that it's the 3 rounds that I'm crafting that are more important than anything. The YouTube drop is great, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while. I mean, we dropped with Mad Flex. I got a couple iBattle joints over the last couple of years that have been there, but it's honestly weird, you know, stepping out of the URL and seeing what people are saying. It's almost like I haven't been here in 4 years, man. It's really weird to see people that are like, oh yeah, he's back.
Well, welcome back, Mike.
I know, man. It's like, dude, and it's funny because, you know, that whole like mid-tier, top tier, it's like I almost understand why people are so quick to consider me like a mid-tier guy, because there are so many people that don't have that app and have missed probably like 20 battles of mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, doing a YouTube drop, that's just a continuation of the path that I've always been on, bro. Like, you know, it's just gonna be, I'm excited for my rounds to be displayed, you know, 100% accessibility. I'm excited about that.
I know that you've been very supportive of URL, but
Yeah.
how much did just battling on the app, I know you've had caffeine battles, of course, but how much of just battling on the app, not able to share your material,
Right.
not able to be like, yo, you know, show it to your aunt or your uncle? How much does that honestly bother you and probably other battlers?
You know, it didn't bother me that much at first, because I feel like, you know, on one end you're compensated financially, so it's like that's kind of the trade-off, right? It's like you're gonna do stuff and they're gonna show up on the app, but there's like new perks, right? Your contracts are higher. Maybe if you get on caffeine, you'll be displayed on pay-per-views that are, you know, have more people watching. So I didn't really care at the time, because I was with the growth of it. You know what I mean? Like I was probably here. I got here like at really the most pivotal time of URL. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Briz Rothsteins and the T-Tops came before us, and even when I remember when Adi Booms and Steams first got uploaded, that was like my first visual of like, oh wow, you could actually get through those doors. You know, I thought URL was just 20 people that they rotate around for 8 years, and to be honest, it really was. You know, they had such a small roster that they rotate around. So yeah, it was cool to like be you know, like a part of that. So as the app got bigger, like I was okay with it, because I've been building with them for a really long time. It was when things like weren't, you know, when I wasn't happy with what was being put on the app, because it was the battles that I didn't want themselves. Then it became an issue. As far as the like not being able to share things, bro, like that's you know, I feel like that's equivalent to how like people complain about their jobs but they don't talk to the manager. You could get your clips whitelisted. As an artist, you can get your clips whitelisted. That is a call to text to Beasley, and you ask them to talk to Quarter Lab and the other people, and you give them your Instagram handle, and you're good. If you have a good enough connection with URL, you can get clips. So there's no battle of mine that has been released on an app where I wasn't able to show you at least 2 or 3 pivotal or best of moments from that video. And in a era where, you know, fast food delivery, as far as content, people want to watch something for 20 seconds and move on. I actually feel like that is just as important and does as much for you as a full battle, to be honest. So like I never really had an issue with the app, and I was whitelisted. So I would hit up JB, hey, you know, me and Nunna just dropped, I want this part, I want 45 seconds of this round, and I'm going to timestamp you another piece that I want. And I'm completely fine putting those 2 clips out, because clips take you very far, sometimes much farther than a full battle.
Okay, let's jump back to the Rosenberg Raw battle. What about Raw, I guess, are you worried about? Is it any concern at all? Is he a problem? It seems like his stock has definitely rose over the last year or so. I think he's one of the people that actually capitalized on Spaces, because he wasn't really that outspoken. At least we didn't hear a lot about him. And then he went to Spaces and he started hosting Spaces. And he kind of someone that like took the Spaces and it actually benefited him, as opposed to him like crashing out in Spaces. But and then from there, now he's doing a podcast. He's definitely more visible. So what worries or threats do Raw pose to you, if any at all?
None.
Okay.
None. I don't, and that goes for just about everybody, man. I don't have time to care about what my opponent is going to do.
Are you worried about battling in Philly?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I'm used to those. I'm used to feeling like the odds are stacked against me. I'm used to feeling like I'm walking into an environment that favors my opponent maybe more than it does me. But I'm not worried about that at all. If anything, I think my style encapsulates a lot of Philly rap, and I grew up on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very inspired by Philly rap and patterns and flows, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I think that's my wheelhouse. A building like that, a venue like that, and a crowd like that, like that's my wheelhouse. So when I say I'm not worried about Rosenberg, it's the same way I wasn't worried about Daylight or Geechee Gotti or T-Top or Suge or B-Dot or any of these high-profile guys. The second that I'm thinking about what are you possibly going to do is the second I start second-guessing, does my approach work? Or maybe I do that. I don't leave myself that option. I care just about what I'm going to do. So no, I mean, because I think if I do what I'm supposed to do, there shouldn't be any worries, because I beat Rosenberg Raw. If I do what I'm supposed to do, then I win that battle. You know what I'm saying? So there's no real like.
Let me ask you this. I feel like, me personally, I feel like y'all battle is the best battle on the card. I've seen a lot of people say that, and I also feel like, do you feel any pressure to kind of like know that your battle may have the most eyes? And I say that because you got Head Ice and you got Hollow Man, and then you got Gwitty on the card. I'm talking about the New York people. You got P. Right. Who else am I missing?
Show Off.
And Show Off.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything that you went through recently, I think the growth of Rosenberg Raw from a marketing standpoint, as far as speaking out more. Yeah. And I feel like people are going to be like, okay, Mike is off of URL. Let's see what he does. Yeah. And y'all battle represent a battle that any league right now could set up. Whereas you wouldn't really see a league's book Hollow Man or P, because they're coming back to battle rap. So y'all are like a typical battle that when it's set up, it's like, oh, I can see this set up. So do you feel there's any more pressure that you might either be A, carrying the card, or B, more eyes on the card, or?
Yeah, I think performance of the night is up for grabs for me. Like, I think I'm gonna blow the roof off of the entire venue. Like, my goal is to outperform everybody, and I think I'm in the driver's seat to do so. I would be lying if I didn't say that there isn't a pressure. There's a pressure I am aware of, but certainly not felt. Like, I don't feel that pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like when you get to that point, if you are who you say you are and you're built for a big stage or you're built for pressure moments, you don't even have time to even think about whether you feel the pressure when you're in the moment. So yeah, Mike P's been talking all this shit. This is his first, public, big thing in a while. What does he do? Of course, if you write that out, that is pressure. Yeah, 100%. It's scary. It could be scary, but not to me, man. I've done this so long, bro. I used to say, I stopped saying this 4 years ago. I used to say that, if you don't feel nerves before a battle, there's something wrong with you. When I tell you I've been ice cold for 3 years, to where I'm sitting in the venue and I'm waiting on the anxiety, I'm waiting on the feeling of, doubt, or waiting on, it doesn't even exist anymore. So, the pressure, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of the narrative of it. You know what I'm saying? The storyline of it. Yeah, that's for sure pressure. But nah, man, I'm ready to go.
Okay. So, what's the date of that battle?
September 9th.
So September 9th.
Yeah.
What happens between you and Rosenberg Raw? What are you forecasting?
A clear win. Yeah, clear win. One of the better performances of the night. And there's the human aspect of me that wants Rosenberg to do good. And then there's the competitive aspect of me that thinks that I'm gonna run over him. And I'm leaning on the latter.
Chris, bias. Man, subscribe to the channel, man. Don't be a hater your whole life. Chris, bias.